Hello, I'm Saremy, and I'm back with another Friday Sews, and probably one of my more boring Friday Sews. What can I say? So yeah, a lot hasn't happened in the last week. I didn't stream last week, so I don't have a few new garments to show. I do have one. And then I have the one we started today. We cut it out yesterday and started today. So I have a little bit of progress to show on that. What I did do last week was I cared for my dog. Thanks for all the well wishes. He's doing so much better. He had his little checkup today. He even started eating full meals a couple days ago. So he's totally is almost acting like he's back to his old self. Which now we're realizing how obnoxious that was, because man, he has a big personality. So, but that's always a good sign, right? He's happy, he's healthy, he's spinning for his meals, which is so cute. So let's see what else. So last week I kind of wasn't at work 100% all the time, and my hours are kind of weird, so I just focused on finishing those bags like I said, and then working on this laundry basket pattern that I've kind of redid completely. I love my first one, but then I just wanted to make it a little simpler to cut out and a little simpler to sew and a little bit easier to make sure that someone with a home machine could sew if they wanted to do something a little bit heavier duty. So, and I think I've accomplished that, and finally now it's a little bit unstuck and I'm continuing forward, and I'm kind of at the point where I'm just doing all the tedious stuff on it. And then I just got to record the video, which is the easy part. So thank goodness I got that kind of out of the weird little limbo it was in. So here is my current prototype of this laundry basket pattern. It's sewn in, I think this was a tablecloth. It's vintage fabric that a friend gave to me recently. I thought it'd be kind of cute as a laundry basket. So my current prototype now has a square bottom, and then it's fully lined still. It's got the handle so you can carry it up the stairs with one hand, which I love. I added a zipper top. I just brightened that up for you so you can see inside here. And this is optional, but it is kind of nice. Like say maybe you do a lot of laundry, or you're throwing a bunch of bags in the back of the car, or you're going to the laundromat or something, the zipper might be kind of nice. And then there's a little pocket inside, and the hook that drops in this pocket, you can hook it to the dryer, and then it acts like a helping hand holding the bag open as you kind of pile stuff in to the basket. And then the upper edge has a stiffener in it so that it kind of stays open. The rest of the bag only has stiffener in the bottom, so it's kind of minimal on the stiffener. So far it's actually really easy to sew. That's what I've been focusing on lately. And I'm pretty excited that it's kind of moving forward now, So I'm just kind of at that stage where I have probably a couple more to sew, and then we'll be a-okay. And then other than that, I have this beautiful pile of fabrics here. I think I've shown you a few of them, and I'm thinking about making the new Reynolds top. I'm not big on sleeveless garments. I like wearing them because it's so hot here, but honestly, they're just not the most flattering thing on me, in my opinion. My arms have always been like really beefy. I worked on a farm when I was young. I used to work out a lot, so I think like that part of it, and I'm just broad-shouldered. I don't know, I've never really liked sleeveless things on me, but I love that Reynolds top by Helen's Closet, and I like the back shaping. It just looks really cute, and I love it as a dress, and I kind of want to copy the ones I'm seeing, but just doing it in a plaid. So I got out all my new linen plaids, and I'm going to pre-wash them. And I also got this rayon recently. I don't think I showed, that is so yummy, by Sarah Watts and Ruby Star Society. When I saw it, I was like, yep, have to have that. So I think all these fabrics are from Hearts Fabric in Santa Cruz, California, and Blackbird Fabrics up in Canada. All really great stuff. Underneath that big pile of fabric is the start of these men's cargo shorts by Wardrobe by Me patterns. They're turning out really great. The pattern is super professional, really good. The instructions are really great. I'm pretty impressed by the pattern company so far. I've never sewn anything by them, and I know a lot of people love them, so I'm just kind of late to the party on that. And so far I've done the front pockets, prepared the fronts so far, and I'm using kind of a crazy fabric. I totally forgot to buy pocket fabric. So hopefully my husband will like this because some of it's kind of kooky. It's got cargo pockets with the pleats on the side. I'm going to do snaps. And then it has a seat patch and back welt pockets. I ended up unstitching the stitching around the sides and top because it looked better. This is again one of those projects where it didn't have a top stitch thread that I thought worked really well for this color. So, and the color looks pretty bad on the camera here. This is a lot more like, I'm not gonna say it's Carhartt orange, but it is definitely a little more, it's warmer. It's a warmer brown than you're seeing on the camera, at least on my camera. And I don't have a top stitch thread that matched, and I felt like if I didn't use something a little heavier duty, it would get a little lost on here. I tried just one strand or just regular weight, and it just looked a little bit kind of feeble, to be honest. So I did my trick of using 2 strands of thread. So my machine has 2 strands of thread, just kind of threaded through all the same things and through the needle, and it works really great. I don't have any problems with it. I don't have any tension issues. It's just one bobbin thread. But I definitely found that because of the thickness on the sides of the pockets here of the bag, that I was having trouble keeping my presser foot more even around the edge. And because this is 2 strands of thread, it looks pretty good in most of the top stitching, but let's be honest, it's not probably as true as it would be if it was 1 strand, so it might look wiggly really subtly, especially to the eye. So I think that I just thought maybe if I remove it, and I had a little bump in my welt here, but this welt pocket, so easy to do. If you're interested in making something like this, I highly recommend this pattern. If you're nervous about welts, really easy welt pocket. And it was really easy to fix that because the welt just goes all the way to the edge. I won't explain the whole principles behind it. You can just watch it in that live stream if you want. I'm going to sew another one on Saturday. And yeah, I thought it went really, really well. And again, I used kind of this funny fabric. But yeah, really nice looking welt. I ended up just top stitching the seam allowance right here instead of top stitching around the perimeter of the pocket, and I think it's going to look good, especially once I get rid of the needle holes, and once I launder it, that'll be fine. But it looks pretty good, and you can see a little bit puckering there, but really that's just because of the way I've ironed it. It turned out really great. And then the seat patch, obviously, and the seat patch and the side pockets are optional. You don't have to do that. The other interesting thing about this pattern is that it's not a waistband that you sew on. It's a waist facing. So it's very sleek going up through the waist. And if you do something like this, what I thought was really interesting about this pattern was that she uses men's sizing as if you were buying it from a store. So my husband wears like a 31, 32. But that doesn't mean his waist measures that. His shorts measure 34 inches, and so do these. So you need to note that you are going by the size they buy, or look at the finished garment measurements compared to the garment measurements of something you already own, or someone who, if you're sewing it for someone else. So that's just my little tip on the sizing, because I thought that was pretty cool. And then next week I will do the men's chino pants by Wardrobe by Me Patterns. Then I'm taking a week off of streams, and then I do the men's utility jacket in waterproof, and then the North Star pullover by Love Notions, and I'm making that look more like a Patagonia quarter zip fleece pullover. So that'll be fun too. So I'm getting all kinds of good menswear sewing in, or I like to also call it straight sizing instead of curvy sizing. So it'll be good, and I love this kind of sewing. As far as anything else, I think my newly pet deer, no, I'm just teasing, he's not my pet deer, but George the deer has been hanging out our house still. In fact, I was showing off this top that I made for myself last week when I did that ASMR video that I was talking about, and he was in the background the whole time of my photos and my little home sew cat walk, so that was kind of funny. And speaking of which, the ASMR video did so good, and I was so excited to see people receive it really well, and I really loved, so it was some of the sweetest comments I've gotten on a video. Things like, My mother used to sew late at night, and I would hear the sound of her sewing machine in the next room, and this really brought me back to that. Or just saying that it felt like hanging out with a friend who was sewing, and when there was nothing to say, it was a comfortable silence between friends. Those are some pretty sweet comments, and I really liked doing that. I'll probably always do them on a garment that I've made before, so folks who want instruction can kind of refer to that. But that being said, it was a pleasure to make, and I definitely will make some more. It felt very indulgent, and so I'm really glad people liked it. I know they're not for everybody, and people really like hearing some background chatter or instruction. But there's always going to be an instructional video available, so I promise. But anyway, so the top I made during that was the one that George was kind of hanging out in the background in. So it was kind of funny. Anyway, I hope you guys are all well, and I hope that you are not too hot, not worried about fire, not in a storm, or worried about your home in any way, or your family, and that you're all healthy, and that you're having a really great start to your summer. And I will see you next week.